Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday, April 16th, 2021. Yay, Friday! And this is my astrological outlook for the day. So, today we are still in the midst of these power struggles that have been going on with the sun in square to Pluto. And today we have Vulcan coming into the mix as well, as Vulcan will be in an exact conjunction with the sun today as it still sustains the square to Pluto that was in effect yesterday. And that has been a theme lately. We also have Jupiter and Mars still in an exact trine today, but now they've moved degrees. They've each moved from 26 degrees of their sign to 27 degrees of their sign. So that means that now with Mars and Jupiter at 27 degrees, they're opposite and sextile to the galactic center, which is going to be a major theme today. Third, we have the moon coming into conjunction with Mars in Gemini, who's in that trine with Jupiter. Fourth, on Saturday and this weekend, this is going to be kind of a combined report for today and the rest of the weekend. And so I'm going to talk about some of the themes Saturday and Sunday as well, because we have a big weekend coming up. We have on Saturday, Venus moving into conjunction with the Chiron point, while Chiron simultaneously changes degrees from 10 Aries to 11 Aries. And then on Sunday, we have Mercury conjuncting the sun, while Uranus switches degrees from 10 Taurus to 11 Taurus, where it will be when Venus makes conjunction next week. So those are the different aspects that I'm looking at today. And so now I will begin my report. Today we have, like I said in the beginning, Vulcan conjuncting the sun at 28 degrees of Aries. So this is a lot of eruptive force and conflicting energy today as the sun continues its square with Pluto. It's not exact today, but it's still definitely in effect while the sun moves degrees and moves out of square over the weekend. It's interesting though, because 28 degrees of Aries is where this is occurring. This is the Sabian symbol of a large, disappointed audience. So it's like for some reason, a large group of people are very disappointed about something. And with Vulcan here, it would be almost to the point of erupting. That's how strong the disappointment would be. That's just what's indicated by the energetics. Meanwhile, we have Mercury at 25 degrees of Aries today, and that Sabian symbol is a double promise, reveals its inner and outer meanings. Remember that Sabian was also in effect recently. So it's possible that we could experience seeming disappointments and letdowns today, having to do with broken promises or letdowns or someone misleading you. All right. Or like it could be a collective group of people feeling that way. So it could be microcosm as well as macrocosm. And it's okay to experience and feel the disappointment of that if anything like that occurs. But there's a flip side to this, and we really should not be worried or fearful or upset as a result of it, because we actually have a very real entrance of the divine frequency on Earth today and divine assistance in our struggles today as the sun squares Pluto. To me, this energetic sort of means that like we could experience disappointments in regards to these difficult situations that we're facing, and like they may appear bleak on the surface and have cause to be concerned, but because of the other activations that are happening today, we have angels coming to our assistance, even if we don't tangibly see or feel it. And there's actually a trifecta of divine help available today to assist us in overcoming these difficult situations and scenarios that we may encounter as a result of the Pluto Sun square. And this is because we have number one, the degree of the Earth today, the Earth, where we are, 28 Aries. This degree is a man alone in deep gloom, unnoticed, angels coming to his aid. So that in itself is saying that regardless of the conflicts and the struggles that we might be going through, trying to transcend and transform and overcome our ego and truly step into our power, we have angels here to help us. So we need to take heed in that, and we need to have faith that we're being supported, even if we don't see it or feel it right now. We also have number two, like I said in the beginning, we have Mars and Jupiter in opposition and sextile to the galactic center. And this is source energy, the galactic center. While they form their own trine, remember they're also an exact trine today from Gemini to Aquarius, infusing that faith and courage archetype that they're really representing right now with the wisdom of the cosmos and all the divine light and love in the galactic universe. They're at, 27 degrees of Sagittarius is the galactic center. Mars is opposing that today at 27 degrees of Gemini. And Jupiter is in sextile at 27 degrees of Aquarius. And so they're in this beautiful trine that's inspiring faith and courage and hope and optimism as we reach for truth collectively and personally in our own lives. And with them aspecting in these beautiful aspects, and even the opposition, oppositions can tend to be more difficult aspects, but it's also about really reflecting on and having the ability to see directly that source of wisdom and healing and truth and light that emanates from source and the galactic center, and that is fueling and infusing the Mars-Jupiter trine today. So again, that's another indication that we are being galactically supported. Next, oh yes, and I wrote, so this trine is infusing faith, the faith and courage archetype with the wisdom of the cosmos and all the divine love and light. I already read that. Divine assistance that is working to liberate and expand human consciousness with this today. So whatever struggles, and remember the sun is placed directly in the middle of this Jupiter Mars trine, even though it's in square to Pluto. So we have this source energy and angels coming to our aid to help with whatever we're trying to overcome so that we can transform and truly step into our power. Third, we have Neptune moving degrees to 23 degrees of Pisces finally. Neptune is an outer planet and takes a long time to change degrees. So when Neptune changes degrees, it's a shift. It's kind of a big deal. And 23 degrees of Pisces is the degree a materializing medium giving a seance. This degree describes that it's actually happening, right? Like it's an ongoing process. So there is a material and tangible presence of spirit and the divine here on earth right now, while Neptune is at this degree, available to communicate with us and guide us. Because, that's usually the point of a seance, is to receive guidance and help and assistance from spirit and from the other side. And so with Neptune, who rules spirit and spirituality, in Pisces, its own sign, super strong and super powerful and super authentic in its energy because it's not being colored by any other sign or frequencies or even really planets right now. While Neptune discharges this degree, that is telling me that there is divine help and assistance and the ability to truly communicate and to tangibly experience that spiritual connection here on earth for this time while Neptune discharges this degree. So all of those three things today we have in the context of this eruptive power struggle that could potentially be going on and that could lead to some type of general or broad disappointment. We need not lose faith because it is pushing us to transcend, it's pushing us to stand in our power, and we have divine help and we have divine assistance on our side, working with us, helping us get this done. So it's really we have to maintain the faith and the courage. That's how we get through this. And our connection to source, the galactic center. So where am I? So any disappointments that we experience today, like I said, we have divine and galactic support to get through it. And remember, all the conflicts and power struggles right now are heavily favored for a win for light and truth to prevail as the sun is positioned as a close midpoint to the Mars trine Jupiter and aspect to the galactic center. Summarize what I just said. And then, okay, so third and lastly for today, We have the moon, like I said, moving into a conjunction with Mars later tonight or tomorrow. And that's just more heated emotions and passionate feelings. And, normally with Mars and the moon, that can be internal conflict and conflicting feelings and stuff too. But we really, really need to try again to practice self control with this today, because not only are we experiencing conflict and power struggle with the sun and our ego squaring off with Pluto, but we also have the moon with Mars kind of like turning up the internal heat and the frustration and the tension inside. However, this is the lower octave and the lower manifestation of this. We have to remember that Mars is in opposition to the galactic center for this. So the moon will also be in opposition to the galactic center. So it's also, that trine with Jupiter. So it's also like insane amounts of divine courage and divine inspiration fueled by the galactic center to help us overcome circumstances. So if we can not let it turn into frustration and anger or depression, if we can kind of detach ourselves from our feelings and use that energy to internally inspire us and motivate us, and really kind of like fuse our connection to our abundance coming from source, and not being like so dependent on the situations and the feelings and the thoughts of other people, we can get through this energy and use it to its highest potential, I think. Now on Saturday, and like this is kind of all blending together for the weekend, we have Venus moving into conjunction with the Chiron point. That's the point in the sky where Chiron was initially discovered. And that's 4 degrees of Taurus. And on Saturday, simultaneously, while Venus is moving to conjunct Chiron, we also have Chiron changing degrees from 10 degrees of Aries to 11 degrees of Aries. And so there's like a double Chiron activation with this. And 11 degrees of Aries, remember, we've had this, Mercury was activating this degree recently. This is the ruler of a nation. And so, the Venus and the Chiron point, that can be a good thing or a bad thing for money. They kind of go together. The Chiron point is about healing or wounding and healing, but also overcoming and mastering. And Venus is peace and love and balance. So it can be very like healing and good for money and financial situations, but it can also be like more destructive sometimes, like wounding for the point of being able to heal and find peace and balance and master, and then be able to experience the more positive sides of it. So I'm saying that, yeah, depending on your personal level of mastery, and hold on, I wrote Venus at the Chiron point can be a good or bad thing for money and relationships depending on your personal level of mastery, but with Chiron at 11 Aries for a while now, and that's the degree the ruler of a nation, I would be watching the health specifically, because Chiron, the wounded healer, I would be watching the health of certain leaders and public figures. They may be able to smooth it over for the next few days while Venus is here at the Chiron point. But as Venus moves into a closer conjunction with Uranus next week, and Chiron remains at this degree, there could be some big changes coming soon with money, and it could implicate certain rulers and leaders as well. So that's just something that I'm personally trying to be aware of with this energetic. Also, during this time, while Chiron is at this degree, we might also see other leaders who have done a better job with working with the Chiron energy come into their mastery under this energetic. So, it depends on really where you are or where they are, and we'll watch this and see what happens. But I expect some public individuals to come into more prominence right now, and then some to experience some type of wounding or trauma or health issues, just because of the nature of Chiron, and with Venus coming into conjunction, like I said, with Uranus, money should be changing things with money should be changing over the next week or so. Lastly, on Sunday, and here's more Uranus, we have Uranus changing degrees to 11 Taurus, and then we have the Sun conjuncting Mercury. So we have the Mercury-Sun conjunction at 30 degrees of Aries on Sunday. So this conjunction is happening in Aries, so you know it will be a very active and busy day with a lot going on and a lot of like inspired speech and ideas and people wanting to move forward with things. Aries. And there could also be Uranian themes of like shocks and surprises woven into today's energetic as well, since Uranus is one of those outer planets changing degrees. So overall, remember, any fights or conflicts that happen are actually, like, which can lead to disappointments today, are actually divinely supported for a positive outcome for that which is in alignment with truth, faith, courage, and light. The Jupiter, Mars, and Sun themes. This is ultimately about overcoming ego and transformation of the self on a deep level and coming into true self-empowerment and self-control. We have a lot of energetic shifts this weekend with slow planets changing degrees, so by Monday, the vibe should be quite different than how we're feeling today. We have an unpredictable week coming up next week with Venus coming into conjunction with Uranus in Taurus, her sign, and we should try to remain as positive as we can and remember that whatever we are dealing with right now is helping us transform and gain self-control and self-empowerment so we are more prepared to handle whatever changes, shocks, surprises come as a result of Venus's conjunction with Uranus next week. So that's how I'm feeling about things today. That's what I have today. I know that things may be difficult right now, but we do have all of this divine support and help available to us and coming through. And it's not just today. Like I said, it will persist on, especially while Neptune is discharging 23 degrees of Pisces. And we have a busy weekend with the Mercury-Sun conjunction. So that's my video. I will see you guys on Monday. I hope you got something valuable out of this video for your weekend. I hope everyone has a beautiful weekend. And give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And subscribe if you want to. And share it with your friends if you want to. And leave me a comment. And I will see you guys later. Bye.